Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back. Oh, it's root for the home team. They don't win, it's a shame. Now it's 1, 2, 3 strikes. You're out of your ball game. Oh, what a game!
Ball has the season's Mike and bringing a good have you work this afternoon or the morning. Originally, we're here yesterday. The obvious on CA, it is going to a this past weekend to Tuesday for position of making today two very competitive teams who look to play but be as far as they're looking in this afternoon. Windsor in the top 11 in the and who dropped a clip on stage 2-0 today. Two top 32 in a playoff on senior. Of course, they are the seniors recognized, and the interesting wise we see starting pitchers here. Forwards, the Hudson we and that this get into the starting here in just hit low 9 teams talented league in goes to the see Rose that if you're put for the when they're the Williams at 9 2 and 2 for take a look at runs are simple is how they really 6 ball game Roosevelt point very close into where it's view wise very team at 22 Anders at 3-2 percentage it's 4 Wizards and 407 for Roosevelt slugging percentage 456 for and at win the 600 actually we're going to get back and see the is great followed third on Roosevelt is like stir it popped up out of play very as picked up so for the out to the first playing Auto, number 17. Come to play. Fastball. Now, oh. Interesting. Been very internet a bit rough after due to the web. And one. And two. Two base from didn't mention is really good performance for the routine plays. Seen so many times. The routines are the ones that kill you, not the big with the acrobatic and throws. It's the routine that really hurt. So now standing first is bad. Next pitch is a base hit. And what was saying at that? Well, is an error times. A good hitting team can route momentum. So getting the bet wide, and you can't on on really the error as far as keeping it down, but to come back and try to one any more very 3 days. You can see our video as well as do the best you can. Watch a replay which as you'd like on 24/7 Sports. No charge. Way quickly going pitcher is the count here, and it's now 0-3. Either comes back for a ground. Key to the win is the ball down. 0-2 pitch just missing. Now 1-2. You have a good the Wizards as well as a good hit. The key also your curve pass play. Slide actually takes it away. It's at 1. You can see the board. It's having problems, so the best that we can do if you post as well as the score. But right now, 1 really I mean, and there's Riders obviously seen double here. Try to keep the lead from anything. All strikes. They're slider. Fly ball to makes it out. if you're there's Sean Lott, who's first 4 riders, glad coaching for our team. Played here originally when they went 8, and now so there's 2 down, men on first and second. Next fastball fouled away, and it's 0-1. Got to hand it to the sophomore pitcher, really coming through with some good pitching here, getting the ground outs for the first out, and of course on the second was the wild throw from the third baseman. Part of that might have been due to the blustery winds here as it's blowing from left field, coming right in our face. Curveball just missing, and it's now 1-1. Game of the week brought to you by Colorado American Legion Baseball, Crepes and Creams in the Westlake Shopping Center in Greeley. Next pitch is going to be a chopper to the shortstop. Goes the short way, gets the force, and very good play by the Riders. Keep in mind it's good pitching and some good fielding despite the errant throw, and it says a lot about the character of this team. So after a half an inning, there's no score here from Nelson Farms. You're watching the Game of the Week on Radioactive 24/7 Sports. We will take a timeout. The first inning, no score. Very good defensive plays here by the Riders. Starting it off will be Courtin John, if I'm getting it. If we're mispronouncing, we ask for your forgiveness there. First pitch taken for a strike. He plays third base, followed by O'Donnell, and then it's Jared Chick, the shortstop. Next pitch, fastball taken on the outside corner for a strike. Next pitch again, just outside. Very important that they get the bat. Next pitch is a curveball, low. We've heard stories about the starting pitcher here for the Wizards. Throws in the low to mid-90s, being scouted heavily. Next pitch is a slow roller to the shortstop in the hole, and it looks like he gets a base hit. So the Riders starting it off well, getting a base hit. There's nobody down. Stepping to the plate is O'Donnell, followed by Jared Chick, and then it's Maldonado. Good to have you along in the Game of the Week. It's Nelson Farms on a very cold, blistery day, but you have 2 very good teams and some hot baseball. Looking for a bunt, gets past the catcher on the throw, so the runner advances. And now you have a runner on second in scoring position. Don't forget Jared Chick coming up the shortstop. And we'll tell you a little story about Jared coming up with what we saw in American Legion Baseball this past year. Very, very good hitter besides being a good shortstop. So O'Donnell, the center fielder, with a great opportunity here. Faked a bunt, and it got past the catcher. And you could see the pace of the ball for the Wizards pitcher, just very, very quick, and it just got past literally the catcher. Keep in mind the wind is not helping some of the players. They're getting a direct, especially if you're a catcher, you're getting wind right in your face, which makes it tough. Also for the batters you're getting a direct blast. So pace-wise, as far as bringing the ball in, Could also maybe even bring a little bit more. There's the attempt of the bunt going foul. So playing fundamental baseball is the Riders looking to advance the runner to third and giving Chick a potential opportunity to hit a fly ball and get the first run of the ball game. But so far there's no score. Bottom half of the first inning, looking bunt again, fastball just missing. And the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Scoreboard is up and now running. We're guessing game-wide temperature, it could be in the upper 40s. Next pitch fouled away. Count goes to 2-2. Mike Ray along with John Wheating, Josh Duncan, Warren Ray bringing it to you, the game of the week on Radioactive 247sports.com. We anticipate doing the Brighton game on Monday. That'll be a night game. That'll be getting underway at 7 o'clock. Cat and mouse here between both batter and pitcher. Very nice people here in Roosevelt. They've treated us very well. Next pitch is a fouled away slow roller down the right field line. So the count still remains at 2-2. Both teams looking to expose weaknesses here. Not too many weaknesses to expose. You've got 2 good pitchers already starting off. Both teams have had men on base. So far it's the Riders with nobody out, looking to try to take advantage here early. Curveball, nice pitch hitting the outside corner, strikes him out. Looking really dropped off the table. So you can see why this pitcher is being scouted heavily for the Wizards. So it's Jared Chick stepping to the plate. Chick, who played last year for Gojos in American Legion Baseball, had a huge day. We'll tell you more about that. First pitch taken for a ball outside on the curveball. It's now 1-0. But Chick, besides having a great day in the field, which he's very good at shortstop, has a great arm, hit a couple of dingers and a triple in that game. One of the better performances, and oddly enough, that whole season, meaning his junior year, had not hit a home run, and waits until that game, which is one of the top games that summer, to hit not only 2 home runs but a triple, and really put a lot of runs on the board to put Gojos ahead and win that game. Next pitch is going to be a little bit high. It's not 2-1. On deck is Maldonado, followed by Thornock, the designated hitter. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Next pitch is popped up. Second baseman ranging underneath it. Squeezes it for the second out. So Chick not able to advance the runner, and Maldonado now coming to the plate playing first base. Both teams with opportunities but having trouble moving runners over, as we saw the Wizards in the top half of the first inning had 2 men on, but not able to advance, and some good pitching being displayed, and we're seeing the same thing here for the Wizards here this morning. Hard to believe we're saying this is a morning game, getting back in time on the pickoff move. But with the lights on, very deceiving. It looks like we're almost playing like a late afternoon, early evening game. Next pitch is taken inside for a ball, and it's 1-0. So Maldonado with a golden opportunity here to try to get the Riders on the board. 2 down. Next pitch is going to be a slow roller up the middle. Goes quickly to first, and a nice play by the shortstop to get him by about a step and a half. So after 1 in the books, no score here from Nelson Farms. You're watching the game of the week on Radioactive 247sports.com. We will take a timeout. Okay. of the second inning, Nelson Farms. It is the Wizards against the Riders. Almost sounds like a horror story, doesn't it? And so far, we're seeing two very good pitching performances by both teams. Both teams so far, leaving runners on, had opportunities in the first inning, but we kind of expected this. These are two teams that have very good pitching staffs. They also are very good fielding-wise, almost dead even in regards to fielding percentages. If we take a look at what the Wizards are, their fielding percentage is .938 to the Riders' .928. The national average is .883. So that tells you the level of play that both teams defensively in the field are very, very good. They're ahead of the national average. So coming to the plate for the Wizards, it's Zach Watts, followed by Corte Tapia, and then it's Landon Ewing, the left fielder. First pitch on the way, fouled away, and it's now 0-1. So really we're seeing not only two very good pitching performances, but we're seeing a senior against a sophomore, and the sophomore delivers a strike, and it's now 0-2. Still having troubles with his scoreboard out in left field. 0-2 pitch on the way. It's going to be a slow roller to the second baseman. Comes up firing, gets him on the first for the first out. You can't ask anything better of the sophomore pitcher. Keeping his balls as far as the deliveries, mixing the speeds, coming up with curveballs. He's getting ground outs. Coming to the plate is Corte Tapia, the third baseman. So there's one down, top half of the second inning, no score. First pitch on the way, looks like it's going to be a base hit, it is. So Tapia going opposite field, gets the base hit, first pitch swinging. Pitch up just a little bit on that fastball, Tapia just going with it on the outside corner and laces it for his single. Looking as far as who's the leaders is concerned, for as far as batting averages, Villapiondo for the Wizards is batting .500, and Jared Schick very close at .480. So there's one man on, slow roller, the third baseman has the force at second. Nice play by the second baseman to get the force on the throw. So quickly there's two down. Man on first. Coming to the plate will be Brian Horton, the center fielder for the Wizards. First pitch delivered, fastball just a little bit high and inside, and it's now 1-0. So the challenge really here is not only managing errors, but it's managing the weather, trying to get this in time. Next pitch taken for a strike. Took it down just a little bit lower as far as the pitch level. And the count now is 1-1. You can hear it on my microphone, the wind clearly whipping up. Runner gets back in time. Two down. Oddly enough, when I was talking with Sean Lydon about where the Riders are as far as the standings, next pitch taken for a strike, and it's now 1-2. But Lydon told me after their loss on Thursday, 2-0 was the final score. Understandably, they're watching the league lead and trying to see if they're going to make playoffs. Next pitch, curveball, takes it and pulls the string and gets the strikeout. But Lydon mentioned that they actually went up 5 points after the loss. And really what it counts for is they look at the league in regards to the competition that they face. So oddly enough, after the loss, they actually moved up and have a better opportunity to actually get into the playoffs. So it's 1.5 in the books. There's still no score. We're going to take a short timeout. You're watching the Game of the Week on Radioactive. We'll be right back. Bottom half of the second inning, Nelson Farms, and there's no score here. Really, it's been so much almost a pitcher's duel going on, and some very good fielding, and really some good defensive plays and making the big plays just when needed. And you can see the Riders doing that very, very well. It looked like initially first pitch taken for a ball, and it's now 1-0. Stepping up to the plate is Thornock for the Riders. He is the designated hitter. Next pitch is low. Quickly, it's now 2-0. But both teams with opportunities to try to put one up on the board, but both teams coming through with some very good pitching and very good defensive plays. Next pitch taken for a strike on the outside corner. So you're seeing a lot of character here by both these two teams. Outside, and he walks him. So as we saw in the last inning, the leadoff hitter gets on base. So the Riders with an opportunity here. And coming to the plate is the right fielder Zwagstra, followed by Slaymaker. And we thought it was a hit batter. We're trying to figure this out, what's going on here. Umpire's having trouble. Clearly, that should be a fairly easy call. I'm not sure exactly what they're discussing here. So the umpire is going to have a little discussion on the mound as far as what to call this. Keep in mind, this is senior day, so Riders looking to really come back. They're calling it a foul ball. You can see trying to pull one off as far as the Magic Act is concerned and getting first base was Zwagstra. So the count is 0-1. Good to have you along in the game of the week. Nelson Farms, Johnstown, Colorado. Season just about out, really. Several of the teams going to be playing on Monday and Tuesday. Then Chasso will determine what the playoffs. There's a bunt, going to move them over. Nice bunt down the first base line. So the leadoff batter moves to second. So Zwagstra doing a very good job of laying one down. And there's one out. So it's Bo Slaymaker coming to the plate. He is the second baseman looking for an opportunity here. Base hit scores. Next pitch is going to be hit down the right field line foul, and it's 0-1. Mike Ray, Josh Duncan, John Weeding, Warren Ray bringing it to you. Nelson Farms. We're in the bottom half of the second inning. One down, man on second. No score, but an opportunity here for the Riders. Curveball missing inside. Really, you could almost go some kind of a drag bunt here. Might catch the Wizards napping here. Next pitch high. Going to be a little conference here between pitcher and catcher. Getting just a little bit up, but you can see clearly a very live fastball here by the pitcher for the Wizards. As we heard on the scouting reports early, this pitcher can get it up in the low to mid 90s and already has been offered a scholarship. Next pitch taken for a strike at the knees. So coming right back and delivering a fastball and getting a very much needed strike here. You can see dancing at second, trying to throw him off. There's going to be a slow roller. Catcher looks, and it's a foul ball. Actually, they call him out. So there's two down. Runner does advance to third, and an opportunity here again for the Wizards. So Roosevelt with two down, have man on third. Next pitch, fake throw, strike on the outside corner, and it's now 0-1. You can see the scoreboard. They're trying to get that thing to work electronically, but just really having a tough day here. Curveball, big curveball, sweeping for a ball just missing, and it's now 1-1. That's one of those old-fashioned curveballs. Fastball just missing on the outside corner. It's now 2 balls and 1 strike. Thought they had a strike there at the corner. Umpire didn't like it. 2-1 pitch on the way. This time for a strike, got it up just a little bit, and it's now 2-2. Bottom half of the second inning. Man on third, 2 outs. Fastball, waved at for a final strike. So some very good pitching coming through with a strikeout. So after 2 in the books, no score here from Nelson Farms. You're watching the Game of the Week on Radioactive. We'll be right back.
Established in 1979, Rick's Furniture has been providing quality new and used furniture with no pushy salespeople. Customers travel from all over northern Colorado and Wyoming to Rick's Furniture, who offers top-of-the-line service, prices, and a variety of furniture. Call them today at 970-352-5560. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and close on Sundays. 970-352-5560. Rick's Furniture
is the top half of the third inning. No score. As we keep saying, this almost sounds like a broken record. We have seen some opportunities here by both teams, and both times just not able to get the runners in. It's been a tough game, and largely due, we can't say it's all weather. We're saying some very good pitching so far by both teams and some good fielding just at the right times, especially if you think about it. When we saw the Riders early in the ball game, the throwing error, it looked like the Wizards were going to jump on with a little bit of momentum, getting 2 men on quickly with no outs. But again, some very good pitching by the sophomore for Roosevelt and some very good fielding to get him out of the jam. Likewise, we also saw with the Wizards opportunities once again, leaving men on, as we saw with the Riders in the last inning. And as we enter into the top half of the third inning, there is no score. First pitch is fouled away. And it's the leadoff hitter, Brad Penninger, followed by Mitch Watson, and then it's Tyler Schubert. 0-1 pitch on the way just outside, and it's now 0-1. Nice curveball dropped in at the knees on the inside corner. So we're seeing 2 so far very good pitching performances by both pitchers. Slider just a little bit low and in the dirt, blocked nicely. And very important as we started the webcast, keeping the ball down because these 2 teams can punish the ball. Next pitch is fouled away. So we're seeing a good battle here between Penninger and the pitcher here for Roosevelt. Curveball hits him, so a man on base. So leadoff batter wearing one, and an opportunity here for the Wizards to try to get the advantage here in the top half of the third inning. Coming to the plate is Mitch Watson, followed by Schubert. We'll see what kind of a cat and mouse game goes on here. See if they try to bunt him over like we saw with Roosevelt in the last inning. Nice move, getting the runner back. Very quick step to first base. Penninger, you can see, has some wheels. Next pitch is fouled away. Game of the week, Nelson Farms. 2 very good teams. It's the Wizards against the Riders. Senior day. Yes, this is a morning game. How deceptive. The lights are on. Good idea. You can see Penninger very quick. Any kind of a base hit, and Penninger could be on third. Curveball drops it in for a strike. Nice location at the knees. Really like what I'm seeing here as far as this sophomore pitcher. Doing a terrific job here this afternoon. So Tyler Sterling, coming in really with a spotlight game here so far for the Riders. Really pinpoint as far as accuracy on a tough day. Curveball hits him. So that's two batters that have been hit. And you could see he tried to drop the curveball in on him and just could not snap it enough to have it drop over. So well coached are these Wizards, wearing two literally and getting on base. So there's nobody out. And coming to the plate will be Tyler Schubert. Great opportunity here for the Wizards. Keep in mind they won the opening game on Thursday 2-0. Forced play at third, really, if you think about it, second as well. First pitch taken is outside. It's 1-0. Nobody out, 2 men on. No runs in, but the Wizards threatening. Sounds a little bit like the first inning, doesn't it? Sterling's pitch, nice. Took a little bit off of that at the knees for a strike. Infield playing up, looking double play. Sterling's pitch, curveball blocked nicely. You could see keeping an eye on the runners with Shuffler behind the plate, preventing Penninger from moving to third. So nice play. Very good shift with that catcher. Next pitch is hit to right field. Nice catch. Took one step back, so there's one down. You could see that was a rocket going to right field. If he'd have taken another step in, that would have gone over his head. So a nice adjustment by the right fielder for Roosevelt. So there's one down. Sterling's pitch is a little bit low, and it's ball one. So it's Jake Greenwalt with an opportunity here to try to get the first score here by the Wizards. No play at second. Both teams looking to take advantage. Very tough when you have two good pitchers on the mound. Infield looking to get that double play to get out of the inning. Next pitch taken for a strike. Nice location, outside corner. And it's 1-1. How important is location, especially when you have such a good team as the Wizards as far as bat control? You could see trying to go to right field, but a good play by the right fielder to snag that first out. Next pitch is going to be a looper to center field. Center fielder ranging over, makes the catch. Penninger goes to, actually holds up on a very good throw, running to his left from the center fielder. So O'Donnell not only making a good catch, but on the run makes a good throw to keep Penninger at second. So Penninger having to scramble back to second, so there's two down. So it's Colton Vickers stepping to the plate. Next pitch is hit down the right field line foul, and it's 0-1. I feel like I'm repeating myself here this afternoon. Two teams with opportunities. But we're seeing some very good defensive plays and very good pitching by both pitchers so far this morning. Keep wanting to say afternoon. Drops one in, just missing with the curveball. Sterling so far in this inning tried to drop two curveballs and hit the two batters that are standing on first and second, but so far, 2 outs. Catch made in the right field, next pitch taken for a strike, and of course the great play we just saw in center field. Sterling set at the belt. 2 down. There goes the runner. Gets past the catcher. Here comes the run, looking to go. If they can get it in time, and they get him at the plate. A huge play by the catcher. Shuffler, it got past him. He went all the way to the backstop, turned and fired, got it to the pitcher in time. They get the play at home. So after 2.5 in the books, no score on a huge, big play by Roosevelt. You're watching the Game of the Week on Radioactive 24/7 Sports. We will take a timeout.
Make memories at your next party while making a statement for any occasion with a customized dessert from My Three Cupcakes in Centennial.
I just called to say I love you.
Custom cakes, cookies, cupcakes, party sweets, and favors that are both mouth-watering and visual that will fit your budget. Email Nina at my3cupcakes@hotmail.com for a free estimate or find her on Facebook.
Welcome back to Nissen Farms. We are in the bottom half of the 3rd inning, and so far we are seeing a dandy here as far as big plays are concerned, and some very, very good pitching. First pitch taken for a strike. Next pitch is waved at. It strikes him out. So there's 1 down. So some big pitches by both teams, and really that last play was amazing as far as Shuffler making the run back to the backstop to make that throw to the pitcher to get the out at home plate. So very big plays so far by both teams. Big roundhouse curve taken for a strike. Next pitch is going to be hit down to the second baseman. Slow roller comes up firing, and he gets the second out. So the Wizards trying to make some quick work here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Senior Day, good to have you along for the Roosevelt Rough Riders. Riders looking to even this series up. Coming to the plate is O'Donnell. So Connery trying to get something going here. Takes a strike on the inside corner, and it's 0-1. Despite the cold day, a good crowd here. We're anticipating in the 40s. Next pitch taken for strike 2. So moving very, very quickly are the Wizards, trying to make quick work here of O'Donnell. Next pitch a little bit high, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. If you're Sean Lydon, you got to be very happy with what you're seeing. Next pitch inside, it's now 2-2. With the way that his team is playing here this afternoon, very, very competitive. Riders had a very good start, kind of in a dry spell as of the last 4 or 5 games, but coming back very competitive here in the last couple of games. We'll give you some numbers here as far as what the rest of the league is doing. Next pitch is fouled away, good battle. So O'Donnell fighting right back here. The count still remains 2-2. Going 7 innings, still no score. Bottom half of the 3rd inning. Next pitch fouled away again, this time off of O'Donnell's foot. You can see him walking that one off on a cold day. You can hear the wind blowing in my microphone here this afternoon. We purposely did not mic up extra mics here this afternoon Next pitch taken in the dirt, walks him. So a good battle by O'Donnell, took one off his foot, and now advances with 2 down. Opportunity for Jared Chick. Chick batting .485, looking to try to get something grounded out the first time up. First pitch taken is in the dirt. There goes the runner. We'll see, the throw is going to be high. So getting the steal is O'Donnell, despite the getting hit on the foot. Potential 2-out rally monkeys here by the Riders, looking to try to get on the board here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Next pitch taken is going to be just outside. Jake, a very good contact hitter. Generally, you would not think of a shortstop as having power, but he's got it. Next pitch fouled away. Chick doing the battle here going on. So Greenwald looking to try to finish this one out here on Chick. Really like what we're seeing here in these 2 pitchers. You think about the Wizards situation, they're number 7 in the state so far coming into today. Roosevelt sitting at number 33, depending upon how they do today, and then of course against Centaurus on Tuesday, hoping to make the playoffs. Plenty of talent there, plenty of ability. Greenwald delivers, going to be just outside. Runner will advance. There's the throw. We'll see if they got him, and he's safe. So just missing the tag at third, so some good hustle by O'Donnell. You could see the catcher on both plays, the ball just a little bit wide, and O'Donnell anticipating very well. And he moves over twice here with 2 outs. So Jared with a very good opportunity. Next pitch is fouled down the 3rd base line. Good battle here. Roosevelt trying to do it the hard way, trying to get the first run over. So Greenwald is set. Curveball waved at, strikes him out. There's that big roundhouse curve. We saw that in the last inning where Jake did the same thing, dropped a curveball in to get the strikeout. So after 3 in the books, still no score. Nelson Farms, the game of the week. We'll be right back. Week here from Nelson Farms. Good to have you along. Mike Ray along with Josh Duncan, John Weeding on camera, Warren Ray doing a fine job this afternoon under some very tough conditions here at Nelson Farms. We're trying to get this one in. Again, it's the 4th inning. No score so far in this ball game, and I'll tell you what, we are seeing some very good defensive plays and some very good pitching. And it was Jake Greenwald's turn coming through with another strikeout to get the final out for the inning for the Wizards. So doing a masterful job, as is Tyler Sterling for the Riders, doing a terrific job. So you're seeing the senior in Greenwald and also Sterling, the sophomore, facing each other here this morning. Sterling's pitch hit down the right field line. You can see the hustle play goes out of bounds, so it's 0-1. You can see the batter shaking that one off. Got a little bit of a stinger there. Colton Vickers for the Wizards, feeling that one on a cold day. So it's 0-1. Both teams with opportunities. It's going to come down to big plays like we saw In the second inning, it was Shuffler, the catcher, making the big play. After the ball got by him, runner coming in for the Wizards, and you could see that throw out to the pitcher, Sterling, to get the final out. 0-1 pitch fouled away. It's now 0-2 quickly. Game of the Week brought to you by the Colorado American Legion baseball program. Season coming very, very soon. Starts in the first week of June. Big tournament. It's called the Bash. We'll be webcasting some of those games for you. So watch it right here on Radioactive 24/7 Sports. And on Monday, we anticipate, weather permitting, we'll be doing the Brighton Bulldogs as they look also to get into the playoffs and sitting in a good position. Next pitch is going to be a slow roller. Second baseman going to have to hurry. He boots it. Right at the last second, you could see the ball hop on the second baseman for Roosevelt. He was there, had the glove down. Slaymaker thought he had it and got really kind of an errant bounce, and it bounced off the heel of his glove. So Vickers is standing on first. So it's Zach Watts stepping to the plate, followed by Corte Tapia. Sterling delivers curveball, just missing low, and it's 1-0. Sterling set at the belt. 1-0 pitch is going to be a chopper. Catcher comes up, fires to first, gets the throw at first base for the first out. So a nice play. Shuffler doing a great job behind the plate. We saw earlier making a nice block, shifting the weight, and of course we've mentioned a couple of times now that play at home, and now a nice throw to first to get the first out. So the runner advances just as good as a bunt, and there's one down. Coming to the plate is Corte Tapia, who got a base hit the last time up, went to right field. Base hit here will score a run. You can see the right fielder playing up a few steps. First pitch is a curveball taken for a strike, and it's 0-1. So Sterling doing a little bit of magic act himself, dropping some curveballs in here. In the last inning, got in a little bit of trouble with the first two batters. Literally hit both batters with curveballs. 0-1 pitch waved at with the slider outside, and quickly 0-2. So Sterling coming in with first a curveball and then a slider, has two quick strikes. Drops another curveball in and strikes him out. You gotta like the character that we're seeing here of Tyler Sterling. On a cold day, utilizing that wind, utilizing that heavy air to drop curveballs and sliders, getting the strikeout. So quickly there's two down. Man on second. Wizards threatening here, top half of the fourth. First pitch is fouled away, and it's 0-1. So Landon Ewing looking for an opportunity here. Base hit potentially could score a run. Two down. Sterling set. Hits the outside corner, just missing. Thought he had a strike here from here. So you can see Sterling trying to nibble the corners. We saw him do that with curveballs and sliders. Got the strikeout on the last batter. Almost a wild throw, and a nice play by Jared Chick to retrieve that, the shortstop. Keeps the runner at second. So Chick doing a great job with the glove. Hard to believe Jared, a senior this year, most likely will play for Gojos on American Legion Baseball. Curveball taken for a strike. So Sterling seems to be very successful dropping that curveball, very confident in both the curveball and the slider. Fastball's not too bad either. Tyler set at the belt. Next pitch taken just missing on the inside corner. Tyler thought he had that one. When you have a good curveball like we're seeing both of these pitchers, when they come in with a fastball and they have decent fastballs, it really jumps. Next pitch is going to be a base hit. We'll see. Here comes the runner. Here comes the throw, and the Wizards have the first run on the board. So fourth inning magic here, 2-out rally. And the Wizards on the board. It's now 1-0. So Sterling getting that one up just a little bit on the fastball. And a nice base hit. And another opportunity. It's Blake Horton stepping to the plate, the center fielder. Sterling set at the belt. Fastball missing outside, and it's 1-0. Infield looking for Force at second on the ground ball. We've seen some very, very good plays in the outfield for the Riders, both by the right fielder and the center fielder, with some good judgment plays, and as we saw with the center fielder, making a good throw after the catch. Next pitch taken for a strike on the outside corner. It's now 1-1. So Tyler Sterling, a lot of character here, really, even though with one run on the board. You can tell he's not shaken. He's got really kind of a short memory. Next pitch comes right back and challenges the batter. Blows it by him for a strike. By the way Sterling is pitching and the way he is challenging, he does not look like a sophomore on the mound. Next pitch is fouled away. We'll see if there's a play. Catcher ranging back. It's going to go out of play, so Shuffler going to go back, get his mask on, and they're going to try it again. Keep in mind, 2-out rally here by the Wizards. Some good running, good hitting, and they've got one on the board. Curveball dropped in there for a strike, and Sterling, going back to his sixth gun, strikes him out with that big curveball. But there's one in the books on one hit, and after 3.5 in the books, it's 1-0, Wizards on top. You're watching the Game of the Week on Radioactive 24/7 Sports. We will take a timeout.
Make memories at your next party while making a statement for any occasion with a customized dessert from My Three Cupcakes in Centennial.
I just called to say I love you.
Custom cakes, cookies, cupcakes, party sweets, and favors that are both mouth-watering and visual that will fit your budget. Email Nina at my3cupcakes@hotmail.com for
Welcome back to Nelson Fields. We are now in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Right now, it's a 1-0 advantage here by the Wizards. Do not let these Riders or take them lightly. This is a team that can hit and they can put up a score very quickly. So it's Maldonado stepping up to the plate, followed by Thorneck. First pitch pitched by Greenwald in foul territory and tried to make a catch as the first baseman, but just goes out of play. So it's 0-1. You have to like what you're seeing here by both teams, the way that they're following the ball. very well coached teams hustling out every play, trying to take advantage in every shape, way, or form here on a very cold morning here at Nelson Farms. Next pitch waved at for a strike and strikes him out. So Greenwald with that big roundhouse curve gets the first out. You can see why he's being scouted, as we mentioned earlier in the webcast. Already has been offered a full ride scholarship to Mesa and has other scouts, we understand. Next pitch blows one by him, and it's 0-1. So Thornock looking with one. Ground ball to the second baseman, comes up firing, gets the second out. And Greenwald, you can see in the last couple of innings, really getting into the rhythm of the game. First with a strikeout and then with a ground out. Really, the low pitch counts really starting to show themselves with Greenwald here in the last couple of innings. Curveball drops one in for a strike, and it's 0-1. Another curveball, this time on the outside corner. First he went inside with a curveball, then coming on the outside corner, quickly it's 0-2. So curveball started to work for both pitchers. Fastball just a little bit high, and it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mike Ray, Josh Duncan, John Weeding, Warren Ray bringing it to you. Nelson Farms, 1-0 Wizards. 2 down. Curveball waved at, strikes him out. So 2 strikeouts in the inning. Very quick work by Jake Greenwald. And after 4 in the books, it is 1-0 Wizards. You're watching the Game of the Week on Radioactive 24/7 Sports. We will take a timeout. Nelson Farms, we're in the top half of the 5th inning. It's 1-0 Wizards. They're coming to the plate. If you're looking at the Tri-Valley League standings, thought we would give you a little heads up as far as how it's looking so far. Keep in mind, we're almost to the end here as far as the season is concerned. As we mentioned in the beginning, really just about 2 days left after this weekend, depending upon who you are and where you are. But in the standings, it is the Wizards leading coming into today at 10-2 overall. Of course, leading the league, followed by Erie at 9-4. First pitch is fouled away, and it's now 0-1. Then it's Berthoud tied with Meade and Roosevelt at 7-6 overall. Then it's Skyline at 5-8, Holy Family at 3-9, and Frederick at 3-10. 0-1 pitch, curveball comes right back, and it's now 0-2. Both pitchers showing a very good curveball, very good live fastball. 0-2 pitch on the way, knocked down by Shuffler, but it doesn't matter. Nobody's on base, so it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Other games today, it's Erie against Meade. Some scores here recently. Windsor beat Meade 2-0. Erie defeated Skyline 16-4. Next pitch is a base hit, and it looks like it's going to be a double on the bobble by the right fielder. So quickly, it's Brad Penninger getting on, and there's nobody out. So the Wizards threatening here in the top half of the 5th inning. Frederick defeating Holy Family 3-1, and the Wizards also beating Holy Family within the last week and a half, 6-3. Other upcoming games: Skylight at Berthoud, Erie against Holy Family, and then Berthoud at Meade next week. So nobody out. Penninger on second, looking to try to pat it, hits the batter. So we saw a couple of innings ago Sterling with that same curveball hitting batters. In fact, the first two batters, but again, the Wizards were not able to take advantage. But there's nobody out, 2 men on. So coming to the plate is Tyler Schubert, followed by the pitcher Jake Greenwald. So Sterling needing to reach back again into that character bag and come through with some big pitches. Nice block on the shift by Shuffler, and it's 1-0. So it was a 2-out rally here by the Wizards to get a base hit and get the first run on the board in the last inning. It gets past the second baseman on the throw from, and the runners do advance. So Sterling a little bit wide on his throw to the second baseman trying to pick off the runner. And the error produces the movement of the runners, and now in scoring position at second and third. So a great opportunity here for Schubert. If he gets a fly ball and it's deep enough, could score another run. It's still 1-0. Still nobody out here in the top half of the fifth inning. Next pitch is wide. Shuffler just getting his glove on it. Prevents the ball from going to the backstop. Nice shift by Shuffler. Keeps the runners in check. Really like what I'm seeing here in the catcher Shuffler here this afternoon. Next pitch is wide. It does get past Shuffler, but Penninger thinking twice wise because of the play earlier on how quickly Shuffler got back, and of course they got the throw to Sterling to get the out. So Penninger, with a very good memory, stays at third. But men in second and third, still nobody out. It is the top half of the fifth inning. Infield playing up, trying to prevent the score. Curveball comes in with a strike. And really that has been the bread and butter so far for Sterling here this morning. Next pitch is going to be a base hit. It should, oh, actually, nice catch. Playing up was the right fielder, and a great throw to prevent Penninger from moving in. You could see playing up was Wagstra in right field. Not only did he play up, but has a live arm in right field, so it prevented the run from scoring. That could be a huge play, so there's one down. Coming to the plate is the pitcher, Greenwald, followed by Colton Vickers, and then it's Zach Watts, the designated hitter. So there's one down, men at second and third. Curveball just missing. It's now 1-0. So the errant throw by Sterling got both the runners to move over to second and third versus first and second. Opportunity here, hits the batter, so Greenwald will go to first base, and now the bases are loaded. Not necessarily a bad thing, because you can have a force at any base on this one. And if you get the double play, you're out of the inning with no score. So we'll see if the Wizards can pull the Riders pull the magic act here on the Wizards. See if they can pull off the double play. So it's Colton Vickers looking to extend the lead. 1-0, one out, bases are loaded. You can watch a rebroadcast of this as much as you like on radioactive247sports.com. It takes YouTube about an hour to 2 hours to process this. So again, keep in mind, you can see our different locations there. Next pitch is taken high. Vickers with a good eye. You can see it on any of either our music website, which is radioactive247.com, our sports website, YouTube, and we will also put it on our Facebook site. Next pitch waved at for a strike. Not surprised to see Sterling coming right back with the slider and challenging Vickers with that. Very game pitcher here for Roosevelt. Next pitch fouled away, 2 quick strikes. This is a huge series here for both Sterling and the Riders to get this next out. So 2 strikes on the batter on Vickers. Next pitch is a fastball. It's going to be a slow roller. It's going to be a tough play. Go and bobbles it at second, so the run scores. Wow, that was huge. Really had no play at home plate because of the speed of the ball. It was a slow roller, so he had to go to first, tried to rush it, and you can see the speed of Vickers made it tough, and the concentration just a little bit off on the second baseman. So the runners score, the run scores, and no out on the play. So there's 1 down on the fly ball to the right fielder. 2 runs are in for the Wizards. Next pitch is fouled away, and it's now 0-1. So Zach Watts, the designated hitter, base hit, and this could really break this one open. Potentially 2 runs because you have 2 very good base runners on base at second and third for the Wizards. This pitch is fouled away. Actually, it's going down the right field line. You can see chasing it, but it's going to go foul as the right fielder. So Roosevelt needing to put a cap on the scoring here. As we mentioned, it's all about managing mistakes. A wild throw by Sterling, and then a bobble at second. Curveball hits the batter, and he leaned into that one. So we'll see. It looks like that he stepped into it, and they're going to call him out. So a good play by, you could see clearly, putting his shoulder down, so he's going to come back and try it again. So the umpire not buying that one. You're going to see a discussion here by the third base coach for the Wizards. Top half of the 5th inning, 1 run is in, 1 out, bases are loaded. So Zach Watts trying to pull the magic act off, or the Oscar, whichever you prefer. Either way, it didn't work. Umpire not buying it. Infield playing up, play at home, looking to get the force. Trying to stop the damage here. Base hit could really break this one open. Curveball. And it looks like, center fielder makes the catch. So a run will score on the fly ball. There's 2 outs. So Watts, after wearing one, hits a deep fly ball. They score the run, and it's now 3-0, and it's the Wizards on top. Corte Tapia, of course, 1 for 2 in the ball game, stepping to the plate. Good bat. You look at him in the 7th hole, and you think, wow, the way he handles the bat and the way he goes to right field, you would think he would be further up in the lineup. But sometimes coaches will do that. They'll put some of their better hitters later on in the lineup to keep it going. So Tapia here with an opportunity with 2 down. First pitch taken for a strike, letter high fastball, and it's 0-1. How important are errors in the game? A couple of errors and you have 2 runs in. And you got a 3-0 bulge here in the top half of the 5th inning. On a cold day, sometimes it makes it a little bit tough to come back, especially when you have a pitcher like Jake Greenwald, who really is rolling. We've seen him in the last couple of innings with 3 strikeouts and a lot of ground outs. Sterling set, delivers the fastball, missing outside. Being very careful here with Tapia. Next pitch is waved at, strikes him out. So doing a great job is Tyler Sterling coming through with some big pitches, using that slider this time, and it broke fast, hitting the outside corner. Tapia just couldn't catch up with it. But 2 runs are in on the inning, and as we enter into the bottom half of the 5th inning, it's 3-0, Wizards on top. You're watching the Game of the Week on Radioactive 24/7 from Nelson Farms. We will take a timeout. Nelson Farms, we're looking at the bottom half of the 5th inning. It is 3-0, Wizards on top. How important were those errors? First it was the throwing error by Sterling, and then the bobble at second, and 2 runs cross the plate here for the Wizards. So an opportunity here, Roosevelt, a good hitting team against a good pitching team. Next pitch is going to be a short fly ball taken by the shortstop, who makes the squeeze for the first out. So Jake Greenwald doing a fine job here as far as low pitch counts, really in the last 3 innings, coming through with ground outs. You can see the little fly ball to the shortstop. Penninger making a nice catch, and quickly 1 down. Next pitch, curveball, waved at for a strike, and it's now 0-1. So Greenwald trying to finish this one out. Another curveball, same result, strike 2. And you can see that curveball really starting to work now, dropping off the table. 0-2 pitch fastball, hits the outside corner, strikes him out. So 2 down. You can see why he's being scouted. Has a very quick live fastball, sent him up with 2 curveballs, hit the outside corner, and there's 2 down. Curveball, same result. You can see the same strategy, dropping in a big curveball, and it's 0-1. So Shuffler, the catcher, goes up the middle. Penninger, you can see the range, comes across, makes a beautiful throw on the run to get the out. So just like that, it's 1, 2, 3. After 5 in the books, 3-0, Wizards on top. You're watching the Game of the Week on Radioactive 24/7 Sports. We'll take a timeout. Top half of the 6th inning, Nelson Farms, good to have you along. Radioactive 24/7 Sports bringing it to you. It's the morning show, literally, here at Nelson Farms on a very cold, blistery day, trying to get this one in before the rain comes. We've been lucky. In the last game we were talking about this, we were up in Fort Collins and avoided the rain, and we're hoping the same here this morning or early afternoon. Some batting averages here as far as the Tri-Valley League is concerned. Gunnar Pickett for Meade leading the league at 481. Jared Chick for Roosevelt at 480. Mitchell Watson from Windsor at 459. Miguel Maldonado from Roosevelt at 455. And it's Isaac Bracken from Berthoud at 449. So you can see a lot of the leaders in these 2 teams really are kind of lacing the Tri-Valley League as far as ability is concerned. And we're seeing some very good pitching performances here this morning. First pitch is taken for a ball, and it's Landon Ewing, followed by Blake Horton. Next pitch is going to be hit up the middle, and a nice diving catch for the first out by the center fielder in Swagstra. Very good play, defensive play that we've seen by Swagstra. That's the second nice play. As we mentioned earlier in 2 innings ago, not only made a nice catch, but made a nice throw to prevent the runner from moving across, so there's one down. Going to be a slow roller to the second baseman, comes up firing, and you get the second out. So Sterling starting to catch on fire here, get into some rhythm. A couple of quick pitches, 2 outs, and there's stepping to the plate will be the shortstop, Braden Penninger. We saw on that last play at shortstop the great range and the great arm that Penninger has at shortstop. So Sterling trying to get out of this one quickly. First pitch is hit foul down the left field line, and it's 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Sterling, 2 pitches, 2 outs. This pitch is taken a little bit high. It's now 1-1. Mike Ray, Josh Duncan, John Weeding, Warren Ray bringing it to you. Nelson Farms, the game of the week. Next pitch is going to be a base hit. So Penninger got a high fastball, gets past the second baseman. Penninger rounding, but wisely holds up. Got that one a little bit high on the inside corner and paid the price. Got a base hit with 2 outs. Stepping to the plate is Mitch Watson, followed by Tyler Schubert. 3-0 Wizards. And really, you think about it, with Jake Greenwald on the mound, does not show any signs of tiring. Neither does Tyler Sterling. Next pitch is going to be hit sharp line out. So again, some very good pitching by Tyler Sterling. And just like that, leaving 1 man on. So after 5.5 in the books, it's 3-0 Wizards. You're watching the game of the week on Radioactive 24/7 Sports. We will take a timeout.
Make memories at your next party while making a statement for any occasion with a customized dessert from My Three Cupcakes in Centennial.
I just called to say I love you.
Custom cakes, cookies, cupcakes, party sweets, and favors that are both mouth-watering and visual that will fit your budget. Email Nina at my3cupcakes@hotmail.com for a free estimate or find her on Facebook.
Bottom half of the 6th inning, Nelson Farms. You're watching the game of the week. It's the Wizards with a 3-0 advantage over Roosevelt. And we got to talk a little more of the numbers as far as this league is concerned. For Windsor, and this is important, Mitchell Watson leading the Tri-Valley League home run-wise with 4. Then it's Jared Chick with 1. Isaac Bracken from Berthoud with 1. Ben Alexander from Skyline with 1. And then it's Ethan Swagstra from Roosevelt with 1 also. Stepping to the plate, it will be for Roosevelt. It'll be the third baseman, which is Corinjo, if I'm saying it correctly, followed by O'Donnell, and then it's Jared Chick. But the story has been really, if you think about it, not only a few errors that we've seen on Roosevelt's side, but some very good pitching by both teams. And primarily, we're seeing really in a rhythm, as we just saw delivering the fastball, is Jake Greenwald. Fastball again hit right to the first baseman on the line out. So heads up play by the first baseman. Making the stab, it's Mitch Watson getting the first out. So it's O'Donnell, who really, if you think about it, was one of the closest threats that Roosevelt had earlier. He fouled one off of his foot. First pitch is fouled away. Then they walk him and he steals second, then he steals third, but they weren't able to get him in. 0-1 pitch, curveball, hits the corner, and it's quickly 0-2. You can see Greenwald working fast now, trying to get out of this one quick and get out of here. Next pitch hit, it's a base hit, so it gets past Penninger. So O'Donnell really has been really kind of the thorn in the flesh, if you will, getting on the last two times, first on a walk and now with a base hit. So it's Jared Chick stepping to the plate. There's one down. Opportunity here in the bottom half of the sixth inning, and really Roosevelt's starting to run out a little bit of a time here, so they really need to get something on the board. First pitch is low on the slider, and it's now 1-0. As we saw earlier, O'Donnell really has some good speed, standing on second, has a good jump, reads it very well. Next pitch taken, and it's dropped a little bit low for ball 2. Chick, of course, has very good bat control. You can see a big gap between center and right field. Next pitch, it gets past the catcher, so O'Donnell advances to second, round second, but wisely holds up. So an opportunity here for Roosevelt to start scratching back. Plenty of time here. This is a good hitting team. Can you catch up to Greenwald here in the bottom half of the sixth inning, who is cruising? Next pitch is a little bit low, and he walks Chick, so there's 2 men on. So Maldonado, one of the top hitters of the team, now stepping to the plate. He's the cleanup hitter. So Miguel with an opportunity here. Base hit could score a run. Double could score 2, because Chick is very quick at first base, as is O'Donnell at second. Nelson Farms, it's the morning show here. Good to have you along. First pitch taken for a ball. It's now 1-0. And really, this is the first inning where we've seen Greenwald missing just a little bit on that fastball. The curveball has been outstanding here so far. Next pitch is going to be hit foul down the third base line. Had a chance as we were setting up yesterday. We saw some of the riders hitting batting practice. A lot of balls flying over the fence. Had a home run derby. Next pitch, almost chin music, taken for a ball. So Maldonado watching that, thinking he needed a little aftershave on that last one. Greenwald, of course, has a lot of pace on it. Next pitch taken is going to be a slow roller to Penninger. Penninger comes up, fires across the mound, gets him at first. But the runners advance. So now you have men at second and third. Huge opportunity here for the riders. Stepping to the plate is Thornock. He's the designated hitter. Base hit could bring in 2 runs and shave it down to a 1-run lead. First pitch is fouled away. It's now 0-1. Trying to come in with that fastball quickly is Greenwald. Would not be surprised if we see him go to the curveball. No balls, 1 strike. Next pitch is going to be hit up the middle. We'll see if it drops. And it does, so 1 run will score. Here comes the throw. And just like that, both O'Donnell and Chick score. And as we mentioned earlier, you can see how quick both those runners are. So a big base hit by Thornock, the designated hitter, and just like that, it's a 3-2 ball game here in the bottom half of the sixth inning, and it's not over yet. Swagstra stepping to the plate. Curveball just missing outside, and it's now 0-1. Swagstra, you got a tip of the cap to what he's doing in center field with some great defensive plays and a heads-up throw to prevent more runs. Next pitch almost gets past the catcher. Thornock going back to first. So really, if you think about it, this is really the first inning that we've seen Jake with a little bit of the chink in the armor. Curveball is fouled away. very good ball game. We're good to have you along here on the Game of the Week. Keep in mind, you can watch a rebroadcast of this as much as you like. We'll give you the flash sign next pitch is waved at for a strike. We'll show you where you can watch it just before. Once this inning is over, we'll keep it on a little bit longer. We'll give you the card to show you. So battling back is Greenwald. Gets that high fastball and gets him to wave at it for the final strike. But after 6 in the books, it's a 3-2 ball game. Again, you can watch a rebroadcast of this as much as you like on both our website, which is radioactive247sports.com. You can also watch it on our music site, radioactive247.com. We will have it on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook sites, which we will put up within an hour or two after this ball game. So it's free to you. Feel free to watch it as much as you like. We're going to take a short time out as you're watching the Game of the Week here from Nelson Farms. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Nelson Farms. We're in the top half of the 7th inning. It is a close ball game, 3-2. How big was that inning for Roosevelt to come back with a big hit by Thornock with men on second and third, meaning O'Donnell and Chick, who scored. And you could see the speed on the base paths and, more importantly, the bat control of the designated hitter Thornock. So it's a 3-2 ball game. And how important, if you think about it, were those errors that we saw the previous inning, because if those errors had not happened, potentially it could be Roosevelt sitting on top with a 1-run lead. So it looks like we have a change in the pitching staff here. Tyler Sterling, a very good ball game, just potentially running out of gas. You'd never know by the way that he was pitching, dropping curveballs and getting good fastballs. And it looks like McCulligan stepping in on the mound, number 10 here for the Riders. So very important here for the Riders to hold any kind of scoring down. And they will have to come in the bottom half of the 7th inning. This is potentially the final inning. We'll see. Do not count out these Riders. It's senior day. Not only are they playing for pride, but they're playing for playoff berth. Clearly, the Wizards are in. It's just where they're going to be sitting in the first round of the playoffs. First pitch is going to be high, and it's now 1-0. So it's Tyler Schuppert, followed by Jake Greenwald, and then it's Colton Vickers. Game of the week, Nelson Farms. Cool morning here, windy, blustery. Next pitch is fouled away. Count is now 1-1 strike. John Wheating, Josh Duncan, Warren Ray, and myself, Mike Ray, bringing it to you. Good to have you along. Again, we want to thank Colorado American Legion Baseball for bringing it to you here. Next pitch is popped up. You can see 3 riders merging in, trying to decide. They didn't call it. Had an opportunity to squeeze it for the first out. So basically, it's a long strike. Very important that Roosevelt gets out of this without allowing the Wizards to score here and then come back in the bottom half. We kind of warned you that these bats will come alive, and not easy to do against Jake Greenwald for the Wizards. Curveball popped up. You can see calling it off is the center fielder, makes the catch. Really like what I am seeing in Dykstra in center field. Doing a fine job here. Check that, it's O'Donnell. Dykstra in right field. So O'Donnell with some big plays, as is Dykstra. We'll give them both a little credit there. So there's one down. First pitch taken a little bit high. So Greenwald with an opportunity to help himself here in the top half of the 7th inning. Good to have you along. Almost wore that one, getting out of the way just in time. Next pitch is taken for a strike outside corner. So after going inside, almost chin music to Greenwald, comes right outside, hits the outside corner for a strike. Jake just watching that one go by. Next pitch is fouled off of the label, basically. Quickly 2 strikes. So on Monday, we are planning on being in Brighton. Get a chance to see the Bulldogs, who clearly are headed to the playoffs also. Another good ball game potentially coming your way. Next pitch is a curveball fouled away. Count still remains 1-2. So McCullough coming in from his left field position, stepping in for Tyler Sterling, who went 6 innings and did a masterful job on the mound. Really what hurt him, there were a couple of instances where he hit the batters, but really it didn't matter because a run was not produced on that. What hurt him really was the throwing error that set up the scoring rally in the 5th inning. Next pitch is hit. Center fielder there to make a catch and squeezes it for the 2nd out. So O'Donnell not only doing a good job in center field, has done very well with the bat, and more importantly, his running speed has shown itself today, and it was actually the first run that we saw earlier in the last inning. So there's 2 down. First pitch is taken low for a ball. Vickers watching that one go by, and it's now 1-0. It's Zach Watts on deck, followed by potentially Corte Tapia. 1-0 pitch is going to be hit for a base hit. So quickly retrieving that as O'Donnell gets it into second, and it's a 2-out single. So Zach Watts, last inning, literally leaned into one, and they did not allow the hit batter, even though he wore one on his left sleeve. Then he gets up and he hits a shot to center field, and they scored a run on the fly ball. So he has an RBI in the ball game. 2 down, 2-out single by Vickers, and an opportunity here to try to increase the lead. A live bat here. For next pitch is fouled away, and it's now 0-1. Camera guy's doing a good job. This is not easy conditions today. If you were here watching this game, you would understand there's been a pretty hefty breeze in everybody's face here pretty much the whole day. There goes the runner. It bounces off of Shuffler. That's really the first ball that's kind of gotten away from him. So the runner advances. So an opportunity here. Keep in mind, base hit and the runner scores. So Watts here with an opportunity to try to add another RBI to his stats here. Tapia waiting on deck. So you could see that curveball that was in the dirt really bounced, had a strange bounce, and usually curveballs do that. When you have a pretty good live curveball that drops in front of a catcher, you get that side English that will sometimes bounce either left or right, depending upon the location. It makes it tough for a catcher to block it. Next pitch taken, knocked down by Shuffler this time. So Watts really looking fastball coming in here on this next pitch. Man on second, 2 outs. O'Donnell with a couple of catches in center field. Next pitch is going to be high on the curveball. So very important to keep that ball down on Watts because he does have power. And as we saw, can send it. We saw that with O'Donnell with the RBI fly ball. Next pitch just outside and he walks him. So he's really being careful with Watts. And coming up to the plate is Corte Tapia, who does have a base hit in the ballgame. Really up and down the lineup here for the Wizards, a lot of good hitters. And you keep in mind that the team batting average is .324. So up and down the lineup, you have a lot of guys that get the bat on the ball. Tapia being one of them. First pitch taken is inside, knocked down by Shuffler. That's 3 block pitches by Shuffler in the inning. Men on first and second, 2 outs. Tough situation here. Needing to get this one out. You don't want to let a run score. Next pitch is high. Really need to go out and talk to the pitcher a little bit. Having trouble getting the location. Last 4 pitches have been balls, and you can see Shuffler going to do that very thing. Going to go down and try to settle down his pitcher because they had 2 quick outs with fly balls to O'Donnell, but really kind of a dry spell here in the last 5 pitches. So Tapia waiting, followed by Irving, and then it's going to be Horton. But a golden opportunity here for the Wizards with 2 down. Men on first and second. That's how they did it before with a 2-out rally. To, if you recall, got their first run across on the base hit. First pitch is taken inside for a ball. So McCluggan really having some trouble here trying to get the location of the ball. Next pitch is curveball, hits the outside corner and he gets the strike. So the dry spell is over. Tapia in the first inning went right field and got the base hit. Next pitch is fouled away, got 2 quick strikes, so finding just what he needed to, just at the right time. And the Riders trying to get out of this one with no score. So McCluggan is set at the belt. Got 2 strikes on Tapia. There goes the runners. Next pitch is hit, sharp line drive to the shortstop, Chick, and Chick squeezes it for the final out. So very good pitching, and more importantly, some very big plays in that final one by Chick to get the final out. So after 6.5 in the books, it's Roosevelt coming to the plate trying to tie this one up. 3-2, it's the Wizards on top. You're watching the game of the week on Radioactive 24/7 Sports on Senior Day, and we will take a timeout. Bottom half of the 7th inning, really the Riders needing a run here to keep in this ball game. They're down by 1. We won't say last at bats. So Greenwald, who's been cruising, really a chink in the armor in the last inning where the Riders got 2 runs in on a base hit, and try to tie this one up here. This pitch taken for a strike. So very important at bats here for the Riders. Greenwald delivers, taken for a ball on the inside. You're going to see a conference on the mound here between pitcher and catcher. But Jake, very, very strong pitching performance, as was Tyler Sterling, who went 6 innings. Greenwald set. Next pitch taken and delivers a strike on the fastball. Got a couple of strikes. So Blake Slaymaker looking to do just that. Next pitch is going to be a slow roller to the second baseman. Comes up, gets the first out on the throw. So Greenwald with a 1-run lead, trying to nurse this one home. Good fastball, gets the ground out, and there's one down. First pitch taken is outside for a ball. It's Casey Nip to the plate here for the Riders, stepping in under the DH role. 1-0 pitch is taken for a strike and evens it up at 1-1. Really like what we're seeing here in Greenwald, just coming right back and challenging with a fastball. Inside, taking it to 2 balls and 1 strike on the fastball. So there's one down. It is the bottom half of the 7th inning. Riders down by 1. Next pitch is fouled away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Greenwald looking just as fresh as we saw him at the beginning of the ball game. Good live fastball, good curveball. Next pitch is swung on and missed, and quickly 2 down on the strikeout. So Greenwald looking to end this one, potentially with 2 outs. So stepping to the plate is Andres Garcia. First pitch taken outside, and it's 1 ball and no strike. So you can see Coach Leiden trying to mix it up a little bit, coming in with a couple of DHs. Garcia taking that one for a strike. Next pitch is popped up. Left fielder ranging over. This should be the final play, and it is. So doing a very fine job is Jake Greenwald, making quick work of the Riders here in the 7th inning. Really kind of took an inning off in the last inning, allowed 2 runs, but coming right back with that same very well-paced inning, and of course getting 1, 2, 3. Final score is 3-2. We're just going to keep it right here, and we'll end this one. We'll give you some numbers here as far as the rest of the league and what we can kind of expect. Coming into today, as we saw it, now taking the series to 2-0 is the Wizards. Wizards now adding another notch to their belt. But if you take a look at the 4A class standings, this is for the state now. We're going to give you the top 10 or 15 here just to give you an idea of what can be expected going into the playoffs. Denver North undefeated at 14-0 in league, 16-1, followed by Canyon City at 12-2, Mountain View 12-2. Both are at 17-2. Then comes Valor Christian at 15-3 in league, 9-0. Then Windsor right there at now 11-2 and 15-3, and depending upon what the outcome today, could move into the top 5 in the state. Followed by Classical Academy sitting at number 7 at 12-2, 14-3. Then Delta, Rifle, Pueblo West, Pueblo South. If we go down several notches, we see Longmont in the hunt in the top 18. Weld Central right there at 7-5, 10-5. And if you look down around number 22 to 23, listed in the state, but then unofficially, we also heard at number 33, is Northridge. So Northridge potentially, and then down in the top 35 is Roosevelt. So we'll just see what CHSAA has to say about all of this as far as the playoffs are concerned. And really, one more game. This is the final game of the regular season. As you can see, the Wizards now can take a nice little break and just see what CHSAA does decide as far as where they're going to be placed in the opening round of the playoffs. For the Riders now, they have one more game, which is going to be Tuesday against Centaurus, and that will be a game that is a must-win. Meanwhile, as we talked to Coach Leiden just before this ball game, he mentioned if they do lose, it may not hurt them as far as potential playoffs. And that's where you scratch your head and you wonder how they make these decisions. But basically, we've seen throughout the standings a lot of teams that aren't even at 500 baseball that are in the top 20. So we'll just leave it up to CHSAA to figure it all out. You can go to the CHSAA website, or you can go to Max Preps and you can see what the final standings are on Tuesday, and you will see the playoff situation. So final score is 3-2 here. We will be back potentially on Monday, and we will be in Brighton for that game to watch the Bulldogs. So for our cameraman John Weeding, and of course Josh Duncan, and of course Warren Ray producing, I'm Mike Ray bidding you a pleasant good afternoon, hard to believe, here from Nelson Farms. Final score 3-2. We'll see you next time.